know?
Yes.
Is there an arena and it's like being suspended on the air by like strings?
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly,
Yep,
don't
well that's the
remember.
boss. I don't know if I want to activate it yet. I'm like looking at it.
Well, just make sure you're ready.
Let me get some more integrity.
I think I
But
Yeah.
yeah,
ranked him as like the second hardest boss in the game on my
well,
article
thanks,
for
Jay.
Lognet.
That's
Thanks for
fair,
reminding me.
actually. That's fair.
Like
Now I'm
I
really
I
going
kind of
back.
agree with that.
like I didn't I
Now I'm
didn't
really
I didn't die to him, but he was like I had to be like on my shit for that one specifically.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No, I'm getting that integrity.
All right.
What's up, Jay? You doing good though? Real quick first. Are you doing good?
Uh,
Everything's all set?
yeah, man. I was up last night watching Midsummer for the first time, so I was trying
Oh,
I was trying to do
I haven't
that.
seen
Midsummer?
it.
Yeah, Midsummer.
Never
That
heard of it.
won like awards in the Oscars, I think.
It's pretty fucking bonkers. Put it on at like 2 a.m. So like I watched maybe like an hour and a half, and then I was like, okay, I need to go to bed for the podcast, so I'll finish it tonight.
Mm.
But yeah, I've kept hearing like nothing but like it's like bonkers, and like it's like a mind fuck, and like how you just need to watch it. So yeah, so far it's pretty nuts. It's
Is
like
it
it.
anime or is that like
No,
real?
no,
It's
no.
on
It's
Hulu?
a horror movie in Sweden. So it's
Oh,
like it's
okay.
like in the backwoods of like this like Swedish farm, and it's just like this community of people who are like basically doing like these basically like these this like cultural sort of like rituals and stuff like that.
Like
And
festival?
yeah, yeah. It's
Ooh.
starring Florence Pugh, and
Yes, I knew it.
yeah.
Escaped my tip of my tongue. I was thinking about like it's from Little Women. She's from Little Women. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Um, oh, she's amazing.
Interesting.
yeah.
I love her.
It's on Amazon Prime for free. That's where I'm watching it.
Oh, sweet.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
checking out myself. I
Yeah,
need to
that
watch
poster's
that and
kind of
Black Widow.
that poster's kind of haunting.
Yeah, she cries a lot in it.
That sounds like a headache.
All right. We are live, so we can start at any moment.
Nice. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Let me just grab everything first, but I mean you could shoot it off if you want to.
All right.
It's gonna be quick sometime. 21st.
See, I would have put on Ghost of Tsushima in the background if I knew it was the anniversary, but
Oh,
oh
true.
well. Oh well.
Still doing the Lord some service with that Mass Effecto.
Yeah, when in doubt, go back to old reliable.
Yes,
Um.
sir.
All right, guys, let's get this started. Welcome back to the 21st episode of the DualShock and Sense Podcast. We can drink now, boys. We can drink. We're finally legal, man.
Yes, sir. Question mark?
Thanks for the enthusiasm, Walt.
Anytime,
Yeah,
man.
let's get it. Sorry, I was checking sound levels real quick. My bad.
Walt, I can always count on you, my man.
That's what I'm here for, buddy.
That's just messed up. I'm checking sound levels for you.
Hey man, in my moment of need, I needed someone to back me up on that, and I got nothing from Macho. Oh man, you hate to see it. Guys, we got a great show planned for you guys. With me as always, I got Macho. How you doing, man?
Doing good. It's been what kind of week was it, man? Like it went by forever.
Yeah, very true, man.
But I'm doing good. It's I'm tackling the long days for commuting and just trying to game, man. Just trying to game. But overall, slowly and surely packing everything up, and then we'll be good to go to get to the new place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whoa, what's going on with you, man?
What's up, y'all? Just being a masochist and playing more Returnal, loving it, and play it all week. Which I'll just say now, so we save some time when talking about the games we've been playing. I haven't played anything. This is what the first time playing this week. But other than that, doing good, man. Halfway through the month of school courses that I'm taking, so that's a milestone for this little month. Other than that, pretty chill week. Long week. I agree with Macho. For some reason, it felt like an eternity at times. But yeah, man, we chilling. Ready to talk more video games and gossip, maybe. No, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
No, that's not that kind of podcast, man. That's not us. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
I kind of just threw stuff at the walls, like in the DM, just trying to see like what topic you guys want to cover. Because I'd like by the end of last night, where I was just like my brain was just dead. I was like, let me just start setting over stuff that maybe he wants to talk about.
man, I honestly like. I don't remember anything that happened this week, man. So that's the kind of week that it's been, man. Um,
Seriously.
I am your host, Soul, the connoisseur of anime waifus, and I want to remind you guys to go ahead and like the podcast, man. Consider subscribing; we would greatly appreciate that. We're gonna get on with the podcast with how we always begin, talking about what games we've been playing. I guess I'll just kick things off, man, and just it's kind of really been an extension of last week. I haven't really been playing much of anything. Kind of dabbled with a little bit more of Chivalry 2, Resident Evil 2. I met Ada Wong, and that's pretty much the extent of like my last
Amen.
playthrough between last time and now. So not really that much more to really add on that front. Um, I'm finding myself in that game, not having a lot of ammo in any given situation. It's very stressful. But
For which game again?
RE2.
RE2 remake.
Um,
What
but
a noob. Conserve your shots.
This man forgot there's length to this game.
see, I think the thing that I'm forgetting is that I don't have to kill every zombie that I run into.
No,
And
exactly.
yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that I'm forgetting, and just the fact that there are like some zombies that it's taking like 11 fucking headshots to put down. It's just really it's really making me mad, dude. It's like after 3 headshots, man, you should be fucking done. Like, why does it have to go past like 8 headshots, man? It's
They're
ridiculous.
hardy. They're
It's
hardy, man.
ridiculous.
So
Um,
is that the lesson you have to unlearn from Resident Evil 3?
um, I honestly don't like. I'm trying to remember how RE3 was, man. I guess I just remember that like maybe I had more ammo to play with in that game. Especially, well, obviously, yeah, as Carlos, you have way more ammo, but I don't know. I feel like even with Jill, that I don't remember it taking like that many headshots to put down a zombie. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I just felt like I had a way easier time at it with RE3.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's kind of the general consensus, especially like even playing the old ones. RE3 was a lot more easier to play and even like kind of go trigger happy than RE2 was.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that could be
It also
it.
fits more with the lore, because I mean, Jill is much more prepared than Leon ever was, or Claire. So like, it makes sense that you're struggling a bit more because this is literally their first. At least in Leon's case, this is like his first official. This was supposed to be his first day on the job, but turned out to be Apocalypse. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Worst luck in the world, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, man, it's despite despite me basically like shitting my pants around every corner, it's a really good game. Um, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me. Okay, so here's a little bit of a surprise, and I don't think any of you guys are gonna see this coming. So I do have one game that I bought yesterday from Amazon that should be coming in. I want you guys to guess. What do you think this out of left field game is?
Well,
It's uh,
the king of Kingdom Hearts
it's
and the
not
Final
no
Fantasy
no it's
fanatic.
no it's not
It's
that it's not that.
it's Final Fantasy
It's
14.
not that.
The
Um
I was
critically
legit gonna
acclaimed
say Kingdom
MMO
Hearts.
JRPG where they
Oh,
can level up
man.
to level 60.
I'm gonna I'm
in
gonna
a free trial.
I swear I'm gonna
And
find
it
a
has
way
the
to mute.
award-winning Heaven's Ward.
I'm gonna find a way to mute you. I swear. I swear. I'll give you guys a hit. It's synonymous with PlayStation.
Parappa the Rapper.
Nah. Well, what do you think?
You got. I don't know. It's another PlayStation. You got the Sly collection for PS Vita. I don't know.
Man, I fucking wish.
That would be a twist. That would be a twist.
That would be.
cool.
He's like, guys, I got a new Vita. You know, like that would be the extra twist. I don't know.
Nah.
What do you get?
I got Dreams for $18 on Amazon.
I literally got a visceral like reaction. Like my head shook.
What? Why?
Because I was like, what? Like I was like, whoa.
What's
Why?
wrong? What's wrong with Dreams, man?
Because I remember us talking about it a few podcasts before and being like, only reason it's still up is because of Avatar fan game. And I was like messing around with that. But like, I'd never like, I didn't know it would come up again. What made you make that purchase?
It was $18, so why not?
Oh, okay.
This man, Kingdom Hearts was $2 more, and that was like 6
Yeah, you
games.
could- yeah,
and
you-
this man was like, "Let me go with Dreams."
Yeah, you couldn't pay me enough to get that that hot garbage.
The
Yo.
disrespect. Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts
man.
over Dreams any day of the week.
Yeah, man. That's just how it
Look,
is.
that's an interesting purchase, Jay. What made you want to get that?
You know, I don't know, man. I want to see if I can actually like create something. If I actually put some time in, I want to see if I can actually make a little game.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah,
cool.
I think
If you
I
don't
could.
publish anything, I'll be on your ass. You could have got
Oh,
Kingdom
man.
Hearts.
Oh man. We'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what you do, man. If you don't make something like Avatar level,
I'm not promising anything like that, man. So let's hold our horses. Let's hold our horses. But yeah, man. I should be getting that today, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's it for me. What about you guys? What's going on?
I mean, today Returnal, and that'll be my whole weekend. Aside from maybe I'll play some Switch. I haven't touched my Switch in a hot minute, like a few weeks. But I mean, I want to keep. Here's the thing. First, a lot of times this week, I just sat down and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play a FromSoft game. Like I put in Sekiro because I want to keep playing. Like I want to replay Sekiro, and I put it in, and I'm just like, I don't have that mental energy ready, and I don't feel ready yet. But I want to get ready because Macho mentioned how he's planning to like probably get the other FromSoft games. He's playing Demon Souls now. But I mean, I don't know what's happening, man. I usually don't lack the energy to play FromSoft games. I guess
it's a lot of mental energy in them, man. It's a lot of mental energy.
I guess. I guess thinking about Returnal, I guess this is where all my energy is at now. But you know, aside from today's Returnal, I haven't really played much. I know Macho has some progress in both of Demon's Souls and Returnal. So
A little bit, yeah, just a little bit.
so tell us about it. Tell us about it.
So I actually finished Returnal that weekend.
Motherfucker.
Where I said it wasn't going to, that wasn't probably wasn't going to finish. I actually did, and yeah, I would say the last like few areas were definitely the most pain in the ass. But overall, it was a great game. I really enjoyed it. I can see myself going back to it. Same with like Hades, where like if I'm feeling something, I just want to, do like a shooting gallery or kind of like an action-based game that's just straight like, go to room to room to room and just collect like power-ups and just kind of have like a build around that. Hades and Return are the first games that come to mind. That's something I really want to get into. So I ended up finishing that, and the story was actually really good. I got a couple of the subtle hints and nods and clues, and I had to look up a couple of stuff too, just to like confirm my theories and certain things. And overall, the game is super deep. Well, I think you're gonna really enjoy kind of like the twist and kind of surprise conclusion that comes with everything.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna think a little more like fourth wall breaking to really get like the whole mystery behind the astronaut and everything. But overall, it was super enjoyable.
Sweet.
The music, oh my god, the music for Returnal, dude.
Yeah, I went back to listen to the that fourth boss arena's music, man. It's so good.
Yeah, yeah. Even I will say even like the last area too was just, man, talk about like edge of your seat, like epic action movie kind of thrill that comes with all that. Like it,
Wow.
like I got some like you feel some thrills before when you're playing like an action movie, or not playing, you're like watching an action movie or a scene being played out, and you're like so invested into it. It was like that feeling, but elevated to 11 because you're actually playing it. So
Yeah.
it gets really crazy.
Sweet. All right.
Nice.
Well, I'm gonna keep playing.
What
I gotta stop.
what area would you say was the toughest?
Honestly, probably the last area.
Interesting. Okay.
That was the fifth. The fifth is where I die the most because of the way it was structured and just those goddamn enemies with the sniper like or tracting projectiles that would give you. I'm not gonna spoil it for Walt, but like basically it just makes things worse.
You can talk about the enemies.
Well, like the one thing in this, I don't want to spoil what this one attack does from an enemy because then like that's like part of the experience.
Gotcha.
So
Dying.
yeah, so when it happens, I was like, "What?" Like,
Okay.
I just had to like pause the game. I was like, "You are kidding me!" So that's like one of the reasons why I kept dying in that one. But the sixth area it just has it has a theme to it that I'm not gonna spoil for you because you really just have to experience it. But like for me, I had a really hard time just grasping around. Maneuvering and kind of controlling.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to spoil it for Walt because it really is a cool surprise. But yeah, just like overall, it was more of like a me problem than anything.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I can't wait to move forward into this. I'm still in the second area, which so far I'm enjoying it. I mean, nothing, blowing my socks off. It's just, your typical like Mars, red sand like area, red desert area. But I mean,
Yeah, it gets
I'm having
better. It does get better because I do agree. Yeah, like the first and second area, like while visually appealing, look great. I don't know, like the next areas beyond that are like it just gets better and better.
Sweet.
And I just want to point out, let the record show that I died only 7 times in Returnal. And Macho, how many times did you die? You want to let the people know?
Yeah, I got no shame in that, man. I actually beat the game, unlike some other people, that they will not be named.
Yes, sir.
I died about, let's see, 7 times 7
Oh
is
man, he's breaking
49 minus 4
he's breaking out the abacus right now.
is 44. Minus 5 is 39. Plus 3 plus 5 is 44. So I died 44 times.
Oh man.
That's basically the gist of it. Yeah, I
man.
died quite a number of times, man. I'm telling you, that fifth and sixth area would just kick my ass, man.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
And then, yeah, man.
But no, for
No
real,
death
congratulations on finishing it, man. That's yeah, not a lot of people
Thank
apparently could do it, and a lot of people are returning their copy because it's too hard. So you hate to see it.
Yeah.
You hate to see it. Well, if you don't finish the game, you're out the podcast. Simple as that, man.
Yeah, basically, that's the requirement for
imagine?
getting on DualShock and Sense.
sir.
Beat
Next-
Returnal.
Next podcast is like It's only us two.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Walter could not finish Returnal.
We hate to inform you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other game is Demon Souls. I
Very
beat
nice.
I got to the second area basically where a lot of the enemies are just resistant to all your physical attacks more or less.
Yep.
Ooh,
And
you
I beat
gotta.
the Armored Spider.
You have to do your thrust attacks in that area specifically.
Tell him what you're
Okay,
running,
good
Macho.
notes.
Tell him
So
Ah,
what build you running, Macho.
royalty.
Yes, sir.
there's
Go with that magic.
God, I forget if your stat page tells you. But like based on your area, I believe that your stat pages should tell you, okay, like in this area, your normal slashing, will do more damage, and your thrusting sort of attacks will be weaker in this area, and then vice versa depending on your area. So like Stonefang tunnels specifically, your normal slashing attacks will barely scratch any of the enemies there, but your thrusting attacks are like super effective against the enemies there.
Oh, okay. I gotta
Yeah,
look into that then.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
good. It's good.
I
I
wrote
like it.
about it on longnet.com, so go ahead and check out that article.
Just a self plug.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Also, welcome, Mahmood. Nice to have you in here, man. But yeah, go continue, man. How are you liking the game?
It's good. It's really fun, and oh my god, dude! I had to shout out to Blue Point on the visuals of Demon Souls. Like,
Yeah,
Sir.
it's so immersive, and on top of just like the range of colors and just the sound effects, like, God, dude, they knocked it out of the park with this one. It's kind of nuts.
yeah.
Um, but besides from like the surface level appeal to it, going back to what Walt was saying, I was planning on doing like a play the series up to Elden Ring with basically the Miyazaki games. And after playing through
Yes.
Demon Souls and kind of seeing how it plays and how that's reflected in Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2, then 3, I think I'm just probably gonna go with Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and Bloodborne because while I like
Yeah, the
Demon
good
Souls,
ones.
it's a little too slow for my appeal.
Really interesting.
Just a little bit. Yeah. I'm more into like the frantic action, which is hence
Yeah.
why Kingdom Hearts is like my go-to. Then Sekiro was super fun as well, and then Bloodborne. Dark
It's on
Souls
a league
3 is
of
a
its
little
own.
more. Yeah. Even Returnal at the same time. So when I'm playing through Demon Souls, I'm kind of like slow walking up to enemies and like I'm guarding and then attacking. It feels like a turn-based game, so like it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But overall it's
Interesting
still a fun
comparison.
game. Dude, that's the first thing I thought of when I first started playing. I was like, this guy's attacking, I'm blocking, then I'm going behind, and I'm doing like a really slow attack, and like this feels like a turn-based game to some degree for like an action game. But yeah, that's kind of like my mindset is on it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna approach Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 now because if it plays like this, I'm kind of just like one is enough for me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
Um,
so I was wondering, did you play Dark Souls 1 or 2?
no, only 3 and Bloodborne. But like at least my
Oh,
understanding is that 3 is definitely like a lot quicker paced than 1 and 2. But like
Yeah.
I didn't find Demon Souls like that, like, because I was totally expecting to come into that game and it was gonna be like a slog to get through, and like I don't know, I found the combat to be like fairly like on par with DS3, and I think that
With
might
Demon Souls?
yeah, and I feel like that might be just because like Blue Point, they went in there and they added the omnidirectional rolling, and they tweaked some things around, I think, to make it more sort of like modern. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, even to that degree, if I did go back to Dark Souls 1 and 2, right, it's gonna feel even more dated.
Yeah.
and probably even slower. So
Yeah,
like for me, I'm just gonna be like, I don't know, man.
what I think it is, it's just the play style. I think maybe the ways that Jay, Soul, and you play are that different that you do feel it's a slog. In my case, I occasionally feel it. Um, Not too much since I am playing more of a magic build, so I'm more like passive on like in the back and like doing damage.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Like, are you guys playing like royalty?
Yeah, yeah. In my case,
Hmm.
I am because I've played
Same.
so many just strength builds, just get on your face, like fast,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
characters.
See,
I
that's
wanted to try.
that's the build that
Yeah.
I'm doing. I'm like the classic knight build, so I'm
Mm,
more sort of like in their face, constant rolling around, getting
right.
behind. Yeah. So maybe that's
And
why.
here's the thing. And here's the thing. I don't find it a slog to the point where I might not. I might do a second run. I haven't beaten it by any means, but I am enjoying it. But I do see what macho means because if I mean just with Dark Souls 3, you have there's a certain like lightweightness to it. In Demon Souls, you feel very much attached to the ground in a way that Dark Souls 3 you don't feel it. And
Yeah,
with
like you have like anchor attached to your ankle or something
exactly,
like that. Yeah.
and I mean, but with Bloodborne, it's just a step up where it's you're just skipping, like dodging and weaving, like dancing around the floor, and then Sekiro, there's no saying Sekiro, you're just jumping around and there's the grapple. So like I get it. Like if you only play the fast paced games and go straight to Demon Souls, you might find it like unappealing. But I don't know. I think it's just a risk. You're taking a risk at that. I don't know. In my case, it paid off. I am enjoying the game and I might replay it. But I don't know. I personally prefer faster paced games. So I
Same.
would
Yeah.
very much prefer to play like anything Bloodborne, anything similar to Dark Souls 3, and anything Sekiro, and like no, not Dark Souls, not Dark Souls 2. That's why Elden Ring looks so appealing because it's like a mixture of everything, and I love it.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is too is right before I started playing Demon Souls, I actually just booted up Bloodborne real quick,
Ooh.
and like it's so easy just to get wrapped into that game.
Hmm.
I actually just boot up just for like maybe 5 or 6 minutes just to pass by like quick time before I had to leave, and I ended up getting to the Blood Beast.
Ooh.
And like I was just like, wait, how long has it been? Like, the game is incredible, so I'm so excited to actually go
Yeah.
back to it.
Nice, nice.
Oh, yeah, man.
Um,
Oh,
so
and quick
you
thing,
go ahead.
before we continue, sorry, I just beat the second boss in Returnal, like right now, like I just beat it.
Nice.
Um, honestly,
Wow.
like as we were talking earlier, I was so enraptured because first of all, that wasn't hard, but oh my god, that was
Oh,
He
beautiful.
just
oh.
flex on your ass,
Listen,
so
listen,
he
listen
just
to this
flex
guy.
on you.
Listen to this
First
guy,
of all, first of all,
asshole.
let me tell you about some let me tell you about some
He's like, first of all, that wasn't hard.
let me be honest. Like honestly, I I don't know. I got in the rhythm faster. I don't know. It wasn't easy. By not being hard doesn't mean it was easy. You still have to be on your toes. But again, I had one of the items I had was an integrity that got me like half health. So I like took damage, but I just got health back. So that's maybe why it wasn't so hard.
What gun did
Um,
you use?
I used this high caliber Starstream. Is it called the ranged what's it called? Let me check the name. I have it right now here. I paused it. I forgot I can like actually check. The Tachyomatic carbine.
Okay.
Um,
Because here's
Oh
here's
yeah, that was a fun one.
here's a little tip to anyone who's playing Returnal for the first time. Uh, Once you get to sort of the area before the boss, like right before you're literally about to face the boss, Housemark will drop a fucking pistol before you that is slightly stronger than what you have, as a little tease to be like, hey, you should take this pistol into the boss fight, right? Never fucking fall for it, man. I did. I fell for it for the first and the second boss, and then it made those boss fights infinitely more harder because you're essentially just walking into a boss fight with a pistol. So never do that. You should always be taking a carbine or whatever, something other than a pistol. So don't fall for it. Even though it's gonna be like, hey, this pistol's a level 10 versus a level 9 of what you currently have, or hey, the rate of fire is slightly better than the gun that you're currently using right now. Just don't fall for it. Don't pick up that pistol.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did.
Yeah.
As I was playing, I was really thinking, I was like, who would fall for this?
Yeah, you guys are assholes, man.
Here's the thing. I have my Tech-O-Matic, it's a 5-star, and I did see a level 8 like pistol, and in my mind, I kid you not, I was like,
higher number.
Like
ooh.
No, in my mind, I had this realization that a lot of games do this, where they're like, this is better. Look, it's high stats. It's like, no, it ain't. It's ass. I'm gonna use what I have, because it's not gonna work. It's always like the least like the least appealing like type of gun, pistol, or weapon, whatever, and just higher stats. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Unless that pistol had a higher rate of fire, I didn't take it.
No, even then, man. Like my Tech-O-Matic has like 4 squares of bonus damage and high caliber, and that critical is like insane. Like it does a lot of critical damage. So.
Also,
but Jay, you were gonna say something earlier.
Also, let the record show that Shuhei Yoshida also beat the first boss with a pistol. So there's obviously there's some connection right there, man. So. Come on, man.
Hey, man.
He's trying to defend himself right now.
This man.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's the equivalent to fighting a bear with a arm tied behind your back, man. So, hey, man.
All right. Yeah, I mean, hey, let's do a no damage pistol run, 0 deaths. The whole game, do it.
Oh, man. That ain't happening. All right, man. So let's hop into the podcast proper. So in terms of topics this week, man, this was just such a news-filled week, wasn't it, man?
Yeah. You almost say that it was quenched.
Yeah, man. So first of all, let's give some love to Ghost of Tsushima, man. Today marks the 1-year anniversary, which is like, god damn, dude, it's already been a year since Last of Us Part 2 and since Ghost.
Goats.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the probably one of the most epic and best video game intros of all time. Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah, it still gives me goosebumps to this day.
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah, it's a great intro. Yeah, man. I mean, just congrats to Sucker Punch, man. I mean, creating new IPs in an industry that feels like is just constantly churning out the same shit over and over again is I know for me personally, it's really appreciated, man. And I look forward to seeing how they can improve this in the future, because I've talked about it before. I'm not the highest on Ghost of Tsushima like everyone else is. It's, to me, it's probably like the most like 8 out of 10 game that like ever, but I still respect a lot. Like, I love the combat, obviously. I love the environment and things of that nature. It's gorgeous, right? But yeah, I just hope that they kind of like trim a lot of the sort of like Ubisoft fat like off of the sequel. Story wise, I want to see Jin pushed into like more like I don't know. I just really want to see what they can do with Jin in the second game. So like I want to hear you guys is like, what was your favorite sort of like moment from the first game? Like what's sort of like looking back now that it's been a year, what's the moment that you kind of look back on and think of like, okay, like damn, that's sort of like what I remember the most about Tsushima and that adventure.
Honestly, as someone that it's been a while since I played it. I don't recall if I did finish the whole thing, but what I did play and stood out to me, and it's not even main story related. One of the things that really stood out because it was so epic and the set piece was the environment and the sound the sound design and everything coming together was when you had to look for these weapons that were essentially like legendary weapons, and you had to fight this individual that was either like from the past or like guarding this weapon. I remember, I think it was a bow.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was either a bow or a sword, and you go to this like little island, I think it was, or just this little
Yeah,
patch
yeah,
of land that it starts raining and there's thunder and you see like there's fire surrounding you and you see this like incredibly tough opponent, and if you beat him, you get the legendary weapon that he's holding. I think that's like getting those weapons and taking part in those little set pieces. That was one of the more memorable parts of the game because it made me feel like a truly like what Jin is, like a truly legendary shinobi slash samurai slash hero. From what I remember, I want to replay it. Director's cut got me like just wanting to replay the game. But yeah, that's what I remember. What about you, Macho?
yeah. I have two specifically, and one is what we just talked about with the title intro. That like for me that like set the
That's
tone in
legendary.
the bar. Yeah, it set the tone in the bar for Ghost of Tsushima. Like I was coming at it like not being like super amped about the game, but I still wanted to try it out and see because it's Sucker Punch. So I know
Of
regardless like
course.
what kind of game it was going to be, it was going to be fun. That's what I've
Oh
always
yeah.
learned about Sucker Punch games. And so I just want to play it, and then once I saw it title intro sequence and Jin just kind of just riding his horse through the grass and the epic music just sweeping in the same time, and you see him kind of like run inside his horse too and like start touching the grass too, which is like an animation you don't really see that much in video games.
Yeah.
Just that entire thing just was just imprinted into my head, and again set the bar for the rest of the game. And ugh, man, that just set like a whole journey for me. I love Ghost of Tsushima.
Dude, and I agree
And
that that beginning part, to like reinforce that idea, I didn't mention it, but I do think that generally agree upon that initial sequence, that initial cutscene slash just event going on, that what sets up the whole story, it's just incredible. It's amazing. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating set piece.
yeah, absolutely. Like it's just like I feel like just the story pacing itself is just so like
No,
again, all
absolutely.
of it was just awesome. But and the second is really oh, this guy's regenerating his health. Cool. Um, the second part is really just collecting like all the different pieces of gear to kind of set like how you want Jin to look. Because off of that, I was able to make a article for Lords of Gaming with my personal designs for like certain places and characters. So I was able to make like a Ratchet and Clank look. I was able to make a God of War look. I even based off some designs off of Ellie and Joel, even Sly Cooper before, and
Love
even
it.
Bloodborne too before like the multiplayer Ghost of Tsushima Legends before that dropped, and
Hmm.
they actually sent out like legit outfits for those games. So that was really fun to do, and that's one of the most
Love
memorable
to
things
hear
I
it.
had.
Love it.
Yeah, for me, this is like I don't know why I haven't done it yet, but I was planning to write an article about it, and it would be somewhat along the lines of like this was the moment that made me like sort of like love Ghost of Tsushima, or like made me like it made the game finally click for me, and it was the Battle of Yarikawa mission, like the mission where you get the ghost dance. And I just remember, so
Yeah.
like you have like it felt like really like the climax of the game, and like it had a lot of good moments between like Jin and Yuna, you know, like sitting down and sharing sake and just like having like a normal conversation. That's kind of like what I wanted to see more from Jin, right? Because he was always so like, you know, like duty first, and he was always so stoic. So like it was rare having a moment of like him, you know, just having like a normal sort of like off the cuff conversation with Yuna. And like I don't know, like I really love that moment. And then it all leads to like, you know, for a couple missions before that, like you're kind of leading up to this battle in Yarikawa, getting all these people together and trying to protect the little community there. And all the Mongols come through the gate and you have to, you know, sort of fend them off. The leader comes through, you duel him. Jin has like this epic speech before the battle actually happens. Like he's like, I am Jin Sakai or whatever. And then once you actually defeat the guy, you he basically beheaded. This is the first time that you use the ghost dance. So you like behead him in front of like all of his men. Um, and then Jin again, he's just like towards like the Mongol, he's just like, look at your leader. It was so badass,
Oh God.
dude. Yeah, he's like, look at your leader. And yeah, he's just like
Yeah,
shout.
it's like the Achilles one from the Troy movie Troy.
Yeah, yeah,
You guys
yeah.
have seen that movie? Yeah.
And then he's like basically like you will share this fate as well or something along those lines. And then the music kicks in. I think the song is actually called Battle for Yarikawa, and it's just like this awesome like war chant on loop, with like these heavy drums in the background. And it's just like Jin screaming for Yarikawa, and then it's just like all the people in the village, even though they're not fighting alongside you, it's just all the people in the village like running with you toward, like literally pushing the Mongol forces back outside of the gate. And this is all happening when you have the ghost dance, so it's literally just like one slash and you kill them. And it was just like such like an adrenaline like fueled moment where it's just like you and Jin at the same time are kind of like in sync, where you're just like your motives and Jin's motives are just like perfectly lined together. So like you feel sort of like Jin's anger and desire to want to push back the Mongols. So it's just like you just kind of feel like yeah, like let's fucking do this. And I don't know, it was just like a really cool moment. And that was sort of the moment where just like everything clicked, and I finally had that kind of like light bulb moment. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm digging this game now. Because beforehand, like story wise, like it was kind of like I wasn't really into it. Like nothing was really like pulling me in or gravitating me towards the game, in terms of the narrative. But that I feel it was probably the halfway mark. But that moment specific was like, okay, like I'm okay now. Like I'm digging this game. So that's definitely the moment that I kind of look back to and say, that I look back to and I'm like the most fond of, for sure.
Love it.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, man. So like I said, I'm excited to see what they do next, for sure. Anything else you guys want to touch on before we move on?
No, not really.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we're all just hyped for the Iki Island expansion. I'm counting
Honestly.
down the days where I can just like actually start playing Ghost of Tsushima again. I actually might do it more sooner than I expected, because like every time I look at that game, I'm just like, yeah, we can go for another playthrough, or at least get up to Act Two, like the Act Two at the end of Act Two or something like that. I forgot where Iki Island actually starts. I think the start of Act Two, something along those lines. But it's like in the middle of the game, so.
I will say that I do appreciate that the game is only like maybe like 30 to 40 hours long. Like it feels manageable in comparison to like an Assassin's Creed game, right? Where it's probably double that length. So I hope
Triple.
definitely,
Now triple.
yeah. I hope for the next game that they decide like not to go bigger, but you know, kind of keep in line with that same sort of length. So yeah, and again, I think my biggest thing is that, and this was definitely the problem I had with Second Son, was that just like the repetitiveness of the open world and like the activities that you're doing within them felt very much 2009, 2010 Ubisoft. Like it very much felt like a game within that era of like yeah, like the early like 2010s. So like I hope this time around and Horizon Zero Dawn much in the same way, even though in my opinion not as egregious as Tsushima, but I hope for both of those games that the open world activities are like a little bit more I don't know, like natural and organic, and it's not just like, hey, you've done 2 out of 26 fox dens, or 3 out of 25 bamboo strikes or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. How did you guys feel? Like, did you guys actually enjoy the sort of like side activities? Because like I like to be honest, like I love the shrines because those always felt like somewhat different, to the ones that you did before or like the last ones that you did, and always the bamboo strikes were kind of like a guilty pleasure. But yeah, how did you guys feel about the side activities in general?
Honestly, I do think that there were a bit too many. Um, I think if you cut half of those by in half of the amount that there were like actually to do, I would have not felt as resentful towards them by the end. I mean, I haven't finished the game by any means, but even now there are certain things like um, the fox. I get it. The fox is a way of like you finding different like landmarks or shrines or anything in the world, but you get attached to a certain kind of collectible. In my case, I do enjoy the shrines, and I do love as simple as it is. I do like doing the haikus. I find it like a nice like change of pace throughout the game. Just a moment of silence and the music kicks in and you just hear Jin Sakai just mutter the words and I love it. But I guess it got to the point where I did so many like one after the other
Yeah.
that I was over it pretty quick.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at, is that like after like the fifth haiku, after that I was just kind of like, okay, like I'm just pressing these at random because like I don't,
look
yeah,
here, look here.
yeah, like I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like always the risk that you run with having so much of these things to do. So yeah, if they were to cut them down, if you only had like 5 haikus to do, I think that would be honestly, better
beautiful.
than having like 14 of them.
It would have been, and that's the big thing, right? And I do think that I do hope that they learn from this in that sense that the game is phenomenal, but there's a lot of fat, like you mentioned. There's a lot of fat they can cut out, and honestly, if they succeed in that in the next iteration, whether that be the expansion or like the next game, that game's gonna be even like more replayable in my eyes. Because right now I'm like dreading just like sometimes just stepping into that world a second time because I have like spent so much time just collecting and not doing so much main stuff. Um, that's just the completionist in me, which is a detriment at times because with Assassin's Creed nowadays you can't do that anymore because you will go insane. Um, but yeah, man. I don't know about Macho. Macho, do you? What would be your favorite like collectible, or do you even have one?
Yeah. So I mean, when it comes to open world stuff, I was the completionist too. So like a part of me like would like actually be bothered if I didn't complete something.
Mm.
But at this point, that now that when at least we were in that era, we are in that era of games where they just want to pack so much stuff in games that I just have to pick and choose what I care about and what I don't care about. But it really, the motivation is the game itself. So with Ghost of Tsushima, I was so invested into its world that while yes, the fox dens and the haikus and it's like maybe like the bandit camps or something were one too many, there was that didn't outweigh the other great stuff that I saw in Ghost of Tsushima, which was
Oh, by
the
no
side
means. Yeah, I
missions.
agree. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, by
like
no means.
I do wish there was a little bit more of a but the thing is like it's hard with that kind of game too because it's so focused in what it is that it can't like having like random occurrences like in Red Dead or in Witcher 3 would probably be a little off-putting. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. But I like to kind of see that for the sequel or something. But when it came to like the actual like side missions and the side stories, like the legends and um, the actual side character missions, I was all in there. Like I loved it so much. So, but yeah, I can see where you guys are coming from with like a little worry on just trimming the fat. But like back to Jay's point about like it being like a really good 30, 40 hour open world game.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll stand by that too because it really felt like a nice bite-sized game that you can hang on to for 2 to 3 weeks and really like keep that experience in the back of your mind and memorable. So
Oh, I
it's not
agree.
like
For sure.
yeah, it's not like you're packing all this stuff into one weekend or anything like that. Like it was if it was a game at Blockbuster, I would have rented it 2 or 3 more times. Just to kind of be in that world again. So.
No.
But I mean, again, all that just makes me more excited for Iki Island and see like where that takes us with new content and new story.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
I'm excited to see what they do with it. All right, man. Let's move on and Walt.
What's up?
Personas has a little anniversary.
Listen, man. They said they have how many like 6, 7 things planned, like 6 big projects or something that they like secrets, that they're gonna unveil.
Yeah. So
Honestly, man.
really quick. So yeah, Persona has their 25th anniversary. They just put up a 25th anniversary website, and on that website there's a lot of little interesting nuggets of information. But alongside the sort of website going up, Atlas did announce that they throughout, I believe now until autumn 2022, or I
Yep.
think they said it starts September this year and then goes on to autumn
It does.
2022.
Correct.
That they would be
Correct.
making essentially 7 announcements of like 7 new projects that they have in the works, and
That's
like
correct.
so like I don't think this is all going to be like 7 games. Like this is like, knowing the Persona series, this is probably going to be like anime, probably merchandise and things along
Concerts.
that, concerts,
Possibly.
events, all that sort of stuff, right? Because Persona is definitely like way bigger than just the actual games at this point.
Yeah,
But
when
we're
I said August or autumn 2022, my mind immediately went to they're doing a concert.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, because they definitely, I think their last big concert was in 2019, and I think that was also when they announced, God, was it Royal and Strikers? I think they did both of them at that concert. But
I know
Yeah, there's
Strikers,
rumors
it
around
was.
strikers around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they did do Royal as
I
well.
think it was like I think it's like Scramble, right? Or
No,
something.
Yeah,
no,
in
Scramble
Japan,
is over there. Yeah. Yeah. And I
Um,
remember specifically they had this at first. I don't think it leaked. I think it was just taken from a Japanese magazine where it was just images of the game that was gonna come out. Scramble. It's just in Japanese. I couldn't read anything, but it was essentially that.
But yeah, man. So the interesting thing about this whole website going up was that some of the sort of merchandise that they're selling are like these little like acrylic poster stands and like trading cards as well. And so each of these trading cards and the poster stands depict each Persona protagonist from Persona 1, the 2 protagonists from Persona 2,
It looks nice.
Makoto from P3, Yu Narukami from P4, and then obviously Joker from P5. But then, coincidentally, there is a sort of a blank spot after Joker with the word secret written on top of it, leading many to believe, okay, the Persona 6 protagonist is supposed to be there. And then there's another little interesting thing that like I'm not 100% sure about this one, but like I don't know, I kind of want to believe is that in the actual logo of the Persona 25th anniversary, if you look at like the actual numbers 25, it's kind of like sliced up or like divided by the colors of each Persona game. So like, each Persona game has their sort of like solid color that represents that game. So it's sort of like representative of like the overall theme that game is specifically trying to go for. So like Persona 3 is blue, which is representative of like death. Persona 5 obviously was red, which is representative of like sort of like the urge to rebel, or that rebellious nature that's hidden within all of us. And so after the red in Persona 5, in that 25 logo, there's the color white. So a lot of people are thinking, okay, so the actual logo has, I think it's purple, orange, blue, yellow, and then red, and then white is the last color in the logo. So a lot of people are thinking, okay, white is the main color for Persona 6. Which again, it could be just like a placeholder color there, like they're just slapping it on there. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, because a lot of people for years have been thinking, okay, the next color is gonna be green, because like that's the one that they haven't done. But white would be pretty interesting, man. I would love to see what they could do with that. But regardless, man, go ahead.
It almost goes with like. I think white, and I'm just like imagining how, the game focuses on, the personas and how they represent, they're essentially like figures from time, like mythology of different religions and like history. I think white, and I'm just imagining a persona that is focused not so much on like the demon nature of the personas like it is in Shin Megami Tensei, but more of like a heavenly or like more, I guess, angelic forward game. I don't know, kind of like you're fighting more like essentially like in P5 when you fight like the archangels or whatnot.
Yeah,
but more on that front. I don't know. It's fun to think about what my big thing is, like what style are they going for, because each persona essentially has its own like music genre, like it's its own genre in and of itself. It's fascinating just to think about what P6 is going to be. If it, oh man,
and it's also
hours, a lot of hours.
And it's also funny because like for years, like after P5 came out, people were theorizing, okay, that green is like the next logical color for the series to go into, but then like green is sort of associated with like sickness and disease, and I was I'm like, man, I don't want Persona 6 to be about like sickness and diseases, man. Like I don't yeah, man, I don't want that at all. So if they are doing white, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, so within these 7 announcements that they have lined up for like the next year or so, Persona 6 definitely has to be one of the 7, right?
Honestly, I mean, I want to believe it. Yeah, definitely. Because if it's not, I mean, I would be so disappointed. And not because I'm expecting it to be like one of them, but because I want another Persona game. Like, I really want like another 100-hour experience. Whether I don't know how long it'll be.
It feels like it's time, right?
Yeah, man. I feel like Persona 5, Royal, Strikers, there's so much that's happened already with Persona 5 that didn't happen with any of the other previous like iterations, that either they're doing like a remake or a remaster of an old one, or they're like putting out, which possibly 6 could be one of the announcements, and maybe they're bringing Persona 1 through 4, I don't know, as a collection to somewhere. I'd be down if they brought like the old Personas to PlayStation, not only Vita, because you can't play them on Vita. But I don't know, man. I think it's time. I really do think it's time. And the funny thing is, like, I have no idea like what to expect, and I love it. I love not and in regards to the color, it could also be like, oh, white is the pure color. We have a color plan, and it'll be in the white section, but for now it is white. Maybe that's what they're going for. And And when I think green, quite the contrary. I don't think sickness. Like I think like peace. Like I think more nature bound. Like
Yeah, definitely.
maybe it's a persona that three is more dark, way dark with the Tartarus and all that.
Yeah,
Four is very much the countryside, more
lighthearted.
small town, lighthearted, much more like personal with characters. Five is very much the Tokyo centric, downtown, stylistic, modern, um, acid jazz forward genre. Six, I mean, man, I'd be down for another four, like another countryside persona. I don't know, another more lighthearted. But now you mentioned, now I'm imagining the countryside, and it's just famine. It's just famine all around.
Yeah, man, maybe. But that's also an interesting point, man. That I mean, these colors, they don't. I feel like they don't always have like a set, like meaning. Like, yeah, green can definitely be
Hmm.
associated with happiness or peace or whatever. Um, I definitely associate when I look at green, I imagine, like fucking puke. So like, so so yeah,
Persona puke.
yeah, man. So I don't know. It's gonna
Yeah.
be interesting. But
Well, a little thing that might as well give some of it since I've learned from it, and when advertising in psychology, these colors have meanings. I do know that blue usually means cool, like not so much death, but is very much a more cynical color.
cool,
Um,
like a corpse.
yeah, I mean, sure. I think of what's the name of protagonist in three? Makoto, you mentioned, was it?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, he's an edge lord, but he's very much is like cool headed, like like.
yeah,
Although
yeah.
there's trauma in that game, but he's very much that. Five, yes, it is rebellion. The red, it is that color that agitates you and makes you like crave something. Usually, it's used when in menus and food. So it very much is like an ambitious color. Green, honestly, it is more associated with nature. So hey, maybe Persona will play a druid from D&D. I don't know.
Oh God. But Macho, to get you in here, man, I saw you on Twitter talking about Persona 6 needing to be or that you would want it to be sort of a take on sort of like an older cast, right? Like in college or something along those lines.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's Persona I've been with since Persona 4 Golden, and the thing about like setting a story in high school is like you have like the perfect setup for a coming of age story, because like that's kind of like the age where you really find yourself in like how you want to be, and what path you're setting yourself on, and we see that same thing happen in five, but on a more grander scale. So for me, to keep at least myself like more excited about the series, well, to just take it in a new direction where you have these adolescents that really kind of they generally know who they are and the kind of person they want to be, but it's a matter of just evolving that factor in a more hostile environment. um I feel like even if you move into college, it can kind of like still have that same flavor of Persona, where you get in a job or you're studying and stuff like that. So, but I want to see them take risks, because with the gameplay, I feel like they really hit a nail on the head, and they could they could either evolve that or keep that. I'll be okay with either one. But the one thing I would really love to see is just more of like a, a more older set of characters, and something a little
Okay.
more character focused as well. Because while Persona 5 was obviously I'm not saying Persona 5 isn't character focused, but overall it did focus a lot on its grander narrative, which was the whole rebellion against these adults, and trying to really shape and help like society. While Persona 4 is a lot more personal, it's like in a little village, and there's around these cast of characters that had to figure out who they were and overcome their demons inside of their darkness. I would love to see that come back in Persona 6.
You know,
Personally.
Macho, I agree. I very much agree in the sense that just to preamble, I do think that Persona, from what I've played, I've played a little bit of 3, I've played a little bit of 4, I've played the entirety of 5, and I've played a good amount of 1. And although it's been from the perspective of a high schooler, essentially, it's not straight from like darker themes. Because essentially in Persona 5, you deal with fraud, you deal with betrayal, you deal with like drug lords, you do deal with like corruption and politics. Yeah, you deal with very heavy themes, but I do think that to piggyback what you're saying, I do think Persona would be refreshing to not so much change the themes, but change the perspective. So instead of playing as a teenager that's rebellion, or a teenager that is new to town, or a teenager that's going through trauma, in the order 5, 4, and 3, focus, maybe a college student. Maybe you thought you knew who you were, but you're essentially lost in this world. It's a much more brutal world. You can take advantage of that, and like, it's in my mind when I think of Bully, and I imagine Bully set in college. I imagine that like
that's a perfect example, actually.
Like a fresh new perspective. Because Bully did have heavy themes, but they can only approach it in a certain way because of the context.
Like my mind, like thinking more about this, it makes me think that Persona 6 could potentially, not confirming anything on the whole Paralysis or anything, and it could potentially have like the greatness of 5 and 4, where 4 was a little more personal. You had your own little village, which can be your college campus, right?
Of course.
Your own little community. And then beyond that, you have Persona 5, which is like the city aspect, so like going to nightclubs or hitting up the ramen bars or whatever the case may be. So I feel like that can just like completely like evolve, not only just like the way you interact with like a Persona world, but also just the amount of activities you're able to do, which can have more of those side activities, like going to play pool with your friends, like they do in Persona 5 Royale, or for going for drinks at the bar, like you would see in Catherine, and when Vincent's hanging out with his buddies, in the bar there. So that's where I could think of, and it's not like Atlas can't do it, because they've done it with Catherine, where they handled like those older kind of perspectives. So I like to see that.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't think it's that they don't want to do it. I do think that they're like Persona did start as a spin-off series of Shin Megami Tensei, which Shin Megami Tensei is a much way darker series. Focuses a lot more on death and like existential perspectives, and more of an apocalyptic setting, like the upcoming Shin Megami Tensei 5, which essentially will be, an apocalyptic Tokyo, and it's all dark. Like it's not edgy. It's just dark. Like it's a brutal world. And with Catherine, it very much is that sleazy, more like 2-bit, like motel, like kind of like mindset, where you play this dude that's just the worst, but you kind of like find him endearing. In my mind, you mentioned like hanging out with the buds, and in my mind, like I imagine a Persona 6, if it could be, like I imagine the college campus, right? And I remember Persona 1, essentially the way that you discover, like the way that they discover their personas or this other quote unquote world, is through like an occult like setting, like an occult club, and there's these rumors of spirits or whatever. And I'm imagining Persona 6 being like, don't do Tokyo, like be a student from Japan that, or no, don't do Japan, like be a student from Japan that like is studying abroad, and the college campus is like, you join a religious group, or like a religion studies group, and there's like people from different religions, which are essentially your companions, like eventually, and like whatever it is, the version of their palace in this game is like you're visiting all these like different set pieces of like religion or mythology, and I don't know, like I like take advantage of the theming, because that's a big thing with Persona, and for me, a change of perspective. Also, I don't know what the next big thing is when it comes to the metaverse, because in 3 you have the TARDIS tower, in 4 you have the TV world, and in 5 you have palaces. I'm interested to see what they do with 6. You know.
Yeah, yeah. That's what brings it back to the whole part of like facing yourself, facing your own demons, which
Yeah.
I liked in Persona 5. I think it was really cool how they did that, but I was more of a fan
Mm.
of how in Persona 4 it was more about facing not only facing your demons that was like essentially like the palace, right?
Mm.
But it was also just a reflective nature of like these characters and like how are they going to overcome this? So I don't know. For me, that was just a lot more personal, and I really dug that. And
It
that's why I
is.
really dug those cast of characters a little more than 5.
No, I mean, I do agree. From what I've played in Golden, Persona 4 Golden on Steam, it very much is how we mentioned. So and I mentioned earlier, it's a very much you're in a small town. It's much more intimate. You interact in ways that are that much more personal with these students and
Right. Yeah.
townsfolk. In 5. I mean, even like traversing in 5, you're essentially moving from district to district, and there's a huge world, and there's so many characters, and they very much feel like a part of a bigger whole. When in 4, it's like they're all their own self-contained story, but at the same time, they serve a much bigger purpose.
Right. Right.
Um,
Yeah. Exactly.
but man, whatever these, how many like 6, 7 like announcements they have, I'll be happy either way. I mean, if it's a concert, I'll probably like I'll find a way to streaming it and watching it. I'll whatever it is, I'm all for Persona like anything. But yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. I would be honestly like my take on all of this. I would be shocked if they did college kids, because
Yeah,
I would be shocked. Um,
yeah,
I would,
shooketh.
yeah, I would like that, but yeah, I don't think they would ever do that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a big shift and change, which
Huge,
not to
huge.
say that the Persona series needs it, but I think it'll be appreciated. Just that they're still pushing the novelty of what a Persona game is,
but also
while still adhering to what a Persona game is.
it's I feel like it's like a cultural thing, right? Like that's why
Hmm.
Pokemon always stars 10-year-old kids who have to fucking save the world from ending. And I feel like it's probably the same thing with Persona, and that's why it's always children at the heart of it. Um,
And I do remember seeing. My God, it's been a couple of interviews that I've seen this running theme and running answer with uh, heads of anime studios and manga authors, and it's that so many of these, all these mediums that come from Japan, whether it be anime, video games, or whatever, they take place in high school and like these younger
yeah,
years
that's a good
because they
point.
ve- because they very much those are the most cherished years because essentially that's when you're discovering more about yourself. You have friends, you got club activities, you got sports, you're doing all these things that when you graduate essentially and as brutal as it is, Japanese work culture and adult like uh when you become an adult, it's intense, it's very stressful. Their work culture is very, very like intense. So I get it that a lot of their mediums are very much focused on, oh, let's just reminisce of what we used to be and what could have been and how we felt. Um, which I very much, Macho, I very much see like if Persona was like for some reason like the division that the people that are handling it are from the West. I very much see a campus, like a college campus, a more college focused perspective. But because it is from Japan, like even Trails of Cold Steel, like all of these properties, they all feel like these are very young individuals. Like not you don't find many Japanese titles that feature like a cast of just pure adults. Um,
Yeah,
like even Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy.
yeah.
But yeah.
Out of like the God, like the numerous amounts of manga and anime that I've watched, I could probably name like a handful that actually star like, like adults
Adults.
or whatever.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's like This is probably just like an assumption, but I'm guessing that's just like the not necessarily like the target audience, but like that's sort of probably like the people who read, or that's sort of the people who are actually like into manga and anime over there, or at least the biggest portion of people who are into manga in Japan are people of that age. So like maybe it is that they're trying to appeal to that audience first and foremost before adults and whatnot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, and mind you, in the West, the most popular type of genre is shonen, which essentially,
Yeah.
translates not directly, but to young adult male or young male. Um, a lot of the things that we watch, the classics, the big threes and all these, what's My Hero, Black Clover, all of these are very much focused on young individuals. But, you have your yoseis, you have
Berserk.
uh, your berserks, you got your claymores, you have all these, and ironically, they're set in fantasy realms. They're not even like modern day like Tokyo or Japan that essentially would be much more relatable. And you'd be surprised, like a lot of the target audience, many a time with shonen, like there's a large portion of adults because they like to reminisce of those days. But I mean, it doesn't mean that there's no adult focus manga, because I mean there's so much manga in the world that we don't have time to read it all. But I do understand that like what's more pushed is that more reminiscing of the past, like high school years. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was just thinking something that's like out of like really like what could they do with Persona 6 that will just people would just not expect.
Yeah, it would
Yes.
definitely be cool.
Make them
Yeah.
older.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, man. So let's talk about this Steam Deck, man, because this honestly, to me at least, it came out of nowhere. It came out of left field. I don't even think I heard any sort of like rumors or anything along those lines. So this really was a surprise for me. So I mean, give me your guys' sort of like baseline thoughts on this, because this seems like a pretty big deal, right?
Huge.
Absolutely.
Go for it, Macho. Go for it, Macho.
Yeah, this is oh man, this is the basically the news of the week kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So
And
after the
can you give
disappointment,
can you also give like the rundown of like what this thing is as well?
well, from what the creator is saying, it's basically just like a handheld PC. It's the Steam Deck is essentially your on-the-go gaming device with linked to your Steam account and all the PC games that come with it. So essentially, like what it has is the standard, face buttons and thumbsticks. I can't go into too much into the actual like design of it because I know I will be talking off my ass at that point over like what what the power of it is. But basically, you could play your games at the powers that portable devices that we've been wanting from the Switch Pro, essentially, which is a game that has decent graphics. You could, from what I've seen on previews, you could play your games on mostly on high for a good part of it, and you could just play your games at 60 frames. Yeah, it's basically like a mini PC, which like to everybody that's like what we've been wanting from the Switch for a long time
man.
now. So yeah, I hope the Steam Deck lights a fire under Nintendo's ass that they
You know
finally
it's
have
not.
competition.
You know it's not.
I know it really, I know Nintendo's really just looking at this with like no kind of looks at anyway.
But what you're saying is that Switchmans they quivering in their boots right now, right?
Oh, did you see the comment threads on the videos and Twitter? Man, these guys were
man.
crying. $40 overpriced. It doesn't have that much memory. Like they were just quaking in their boots to the fact that they finally have competition now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the Steam Deck is like, and again, people are gonna bring this point up 1,000 times during your news videos and your subscription box on YouTube. This thing, the 64 gigabyte model for the Steam Deck is literally $50 more than a Switch OLED.
Yeah.
Some people say that's a lot of money. Other people be like, it's only $50, and I get a machine that does a lot more.
Oh
Not
yeah.
only can you get your games on Steam on here, but the creators even confirmed that you can basically turn off the Steam OS that comes with the machine, and you just download Windows. You can run up Epic Game Store. You can download Xbox Game Pass. You can go on Chrome and browser sites, so you go on Twitch. You do whatever you want with this thing. It's a mini PC. They
But
really
you can't
emphasize
play
that it's like a mini
Mario.
PC.
You can't play Mario on it.
Hey man, I'm sure
Yeah,
you
we'll
could.
see. Yeah, we'll see
I'm
about
sure you
that. We'll
could.
see about that.
Yeah.
But Switch, no.
Dude, this thing, what the funniest thing I saw in the video, shout out to Alex from Press Start Podcast, making videos on this where he's like, well, this thing has no exclusive. And he's like, no, it has every exclusive. And he's not wrong. So this thing is gonna be the little beast, and I'm really excited for this thing to come out. I already have my reservation on it.
This honestly sounds like appealing to me because it sounds like a great entry point into PC gaming.
Oh shit! What's what we're talking about?
Macho, yo, I was talking to Macho because my initial thoughts on just before like Macho like gave me the light when I was looking at the deck when it was announced. For me, that design just didn't do it. Like I was like, it looked like a Wii U control pad, and I was not a fan of it. But I'm hearing that people actually like that got their hands on it. It does feel like actually pretty damn good to play on. But I wasn't a fan of it. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, what's it gonna play and like what game? Like, yeah, Steam. I mean, I have a PC, but then like Macho's like, bro, Trails of Cold Steel, E series, the Persona 4 Golden. Like and I'm in my mind, yo, Persona 5 Scramble, like an actual X60 FPS. Like I'm thinking all these games that can be like just like Macho. Like I'm telling Macho, imagine yourself playing fucking Final Fantasy 14 on the airport or like on the car ride, like on a road trip. Like, bro, the possibilities are insane with this piece of tech. But hey, I don't know until it comes out. I don't know what the consensus is going to be. I don't know how it's going to feel. I don't know how it's going to run. Is it going to be a complete flop? Maybe, maybe not. We'll just have to see. But
Jay, what we were talking before, like on like, sorry to interrupt. What we were talking before was like, I never saw you as like a handheld gamer.
And I'm
so
not.
in my head, I'm like,
never.
That's not what I
that's
would.
why I was like, he's probably not gonna get to this one.
Yeah, that's what that like. I wouldn't use this for handheld gaming. Like I haven't like I don't. I guess let me be honest. I don't go outside that much, man. In the sense of like I'm not spending, like I'm not going to the airport, I'm not. I guess I should rephrase this and say that I'm not outside in these places long enough to get some actual like quality handheld gaming time, if that makes sense. Like if I'm going to like the mall, come on man.
You're queer. I'm pulling on the clip.
Come on, man.
Outside that much.
But if I go to the mall, like I'm not like on my phone, like trying to play like I don't know, like Jetpack Joyride while I'm walking between like stores and or Temple Run or some shit like that. Like or whenever
Temple Run, yeah.
Or whenever I go to Arcade Monsters, like you know what I mean. Like I'm not trying to do like I guess what I'm trying to say is that like like in this modern day, like if I was in Japan or if I was in London where like I had to use or New York where I had to use the subway a lot to go from place to place, then sure I could see that as an excuse to bust out like a Switch or a Vita or whatever. But like in this current day and age for myself, like handheld gaming is just something that doesn't make sense for me in my life. But where I could see the use for this is as sort of like a makeshift PC, just plugging this into a monitor and bam, just playing PC games in sort of that way. I can definitely see that being something that I would be interested in as just sort of like a gateway into PC gaming. Like definitely I could definitely see that as something I would do.
And when you say when you say you don't go outside, you don't mean that you're vitamin D deficient. It just means that you don't like commute much.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
let's move on.
like
Let's
you
move
do-
on. Let's move on.
No, you do get sun. Like you do get your vitamins.
What kind of question is this, man? What's going on, man?
Because when you said that, I don't go out much. I'm like, whoa, this man's just a shut-in. But no, you do go out. Like
Jesus Christ.
He's like a Patrick Star. He just stays under his rock until he comes out.
Hey man, I live in Florida, man. I don't need to. I don't. So yeah, I definitely hate outside, man.
Okay.
No, that's perfect though, because man,
Yeah,
like there's the thing is about the Steam Deck is like I've been looking for kind of like that handheld gaming device that can really replace my Vita, that can play like all my PS1 classics and everything, and this is the one. This is the absolute one. I love my Vita too, which by the way, I'm glad a lot of people are giving the Vita a lot of love the past couple weeks.
Nah, where were they? Where were they back then?
They were there, Jay. It was PlayStation. It was Sony's fault, the reason why that the Vita
man.
died.
That thing sold
Yeah,
like
I'm
10
taking
million, 10 million units, man. That's a crying shame.
It's all PlayStation's fault. It was all PlayStation's fault. I'm gonna stick by that. We were there. We the hardcore were there with that beautiful OLED screen.
Not enough people,
We were
though.
there.
Not enough.
Sheesh.
Not enough. Yeah, PlayStation's fault. So the Steam Deck, yeah, it's gonna be like that one machine, and I'm really excited too, because before I was talking to my fiance about getting an Xbox Series S so that she can play all the Game Pass games like Yakuza, because she's been watching on the playthroughs, and now that we're gonna be investing in this thing, she can just hook up the tablet to our TV and start playing the Yakuza games there, which. You know, and then for someone like me that actually works in New York, I can actually take it to work with me and play like on my hour break or whatever the case may be, and just get like, you know, a couple of sessions in, whatever the case may be. So I'm excited for this thing, man. This is I'm a big fan of handheld gaming since I do travel more often than not. So this is something that's right up my alley, and I hope it puts a foot on Nintendo's neck, man, because they've been slacking real hard for the past year.
Yeah. I mean, hey man, let's hope. But I just think it's funny, yeah, that these Nintendo man just feel threatened all of a sudden. it's pretty.
Yeah,
funny.
it's the Nintendo fanboys are feeling all types of hurt right now, because yeah, man, it's a funny thing. I get a good chuckle whenever someone's like, yeah, Nintendo Switch is way better than the Vita. Okay, sure.
Even me, even the fact that I was raised on Nintendo, and it's like it's I love Nintendo's games and all, but bro, you cannot say that the Nintendo Switch is like better than the Vita, especially with but Nintendo Switch, a Nintendo console is good for doing what it does best, and it's playing Nintendo first-party games that you can't play like elsewhere. But when it comes to like amount of the ratio of good to bad games, bro, like Vita is by far the winner there, in the sense that there's so many classics and so many, at least from our taste. You know, maybe some people prefer the Switch because they don't like anything the Vita offers. I don't know how they could, but you know, I don't know. I don't know who you are.
Yeah, it's the Vita is basically like a JRPG machine for a good while, and that's what it was for me too. Especially like my PS1, going back to PS1 games as well. But it had great games. Like as far as its main Nintendo Switch games, no, obviously not. But like as a machine itself, the OLED screen, just the communication aspect itself, you don't need a mobile phone to communicate with your friends on Vita. You know? So, and also the remote play feature when it came with PS4 as well. Like I think even PS5 is too. But so yeah, there's a lot of great stuff about the Vita. It was
Vita already OLED. Just saying.
Exactly.
So I guess this leads into like the natural question. Do you think Sony is looking at this kind of thinking that they should follow suit, or
I want them to,
yeah.
but I don't think so. I want them to, but I don't think so because of the whole shift they're making with their basically kind of making their AAA games, but also have a tie-in with like other entertainment aspects, being movies and television shows. But I do hope the next step for them when they're thinking about how can they expand their reach is to go into the mobile market. Whether it's, I know that they are playing. I think they did say they're planning on putting like their franchise on like the mobile,
Yeah, they're doing
like
that.
phones. But I hope that extends to the actual handheld gaming market, whether it is doing a Vita 2 or going all in with Steam and just, partnering with Valve on doing that stuff.
I think it'd be way easier for them to, and they're probably thinking about this too, just to do it on phones rather than create a whole another handheld system entirely, right? Because that's like starting from scratch, and as opposed to just everyone has a smartphone nowadays, so I feel like it'd just be easier to create the game, put it in the app store, and bam, already millions upon millions of people already have access to it, rather than starting on a clean slate.
Yeah, look at Game Pass. You can play Game Pass on your phone. I mean, honestly, I feel like by some companies, mobile is like slept on, for some reason. I do think that would be the focus. But for some reason, the more the days pass, the more it seems like PlayStation is more focused on like the movie side of things or TV show side of things.
It feels
streaming.
like they have their hands kind of dipping in everything right now, honestly.
I mean, they're trying different things. It's just the fact that they don't communicate stuff. So I am still like, I had to depend on like their moves and not their communication, which is just something I always have a gripe with when you don't like talk about what you're doing. Which I get, you don't have to, but it's nice for like for us to know. It'd be nice, but they don't have to.
Hey man.
Yeah, like I'm in the camp where while I would love a Vita 2 because of the fact that if they do make like their own handheld device, there's the benefit of compatibility and like integration. So like one of the reasons why people that have an Apple iPhone also have an Apple Watch and also have a Mac and also have the actual desktop is because of the fact that all their devices link with each other, right? So like they have just one ecosystem, and you can do the same thing with PlayStation. You have your PS Vita 2, your PS5, your PS4, and the PlayStation mobile app, and all that integrates so that you can have like the most well-rounded PlayStation experience. But again, the other side, if they want to just invest into Steam Deck and partner with Valve to like put like these games on, on the Steam Store and have it compatible with the actual handheld, which it will be more likely, then I think that'd be also nice avenue to take too, especially with their classics like the PS1, PS2, PS3. Like, I think that should definitely be a thing if they're not going to do like their own handheld.
Yeah. I mean, we shall see. And speaking of PlayStation having their hands in multiple different pots, we saw some like someone data mined something from Netflix, saying that PlayStation may have something in the works with them, maybe not. There was like some Ghost of Tsushima images found through data mining of pertaining to Netflix jumping into games and adding games into their streaming service. So I want to kind of get your guys' thoughts on this. Do you guys think that there could possibly be something in the works between PlayStation and Netflix? Do you think it's even smart for PlayStation to, in some way or another, I don't know, kind of circumvent doing their own big streaming service in favor of just, at a later time adding their first party games into Netflix? Like, would that even be beneficial to PlayStation?
100%.
Yeah,
really.
100%. Absolutely, yeah. It's again, it's all about the partnerships, baby.
baby.
It's all about the partnerships. It's like 100%. Yeah, it's another thing back to where we kind of had like this fantasization of being able to watch a movie or a show based on whatever the book or the case may be. Right? It's the same thing with like if you go to Amazon, you're watching the Invincible comic book animated show rather. And then maybe you have a link straight to the comic book so you can start reading. It's the exact same thing here with Netflix. Maybe there's a show for Sly Cooper, maybe there's a show for Ratchet and Clank or Jack and Daxter, or maybe there's the Netflix or the Ghost of Tsushima movie goes straight to Netflix, right? After it's done in theaters. Here's a link to go buy Ghost of Tsushima on PS5, director's cut.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
It's really you're just washing both hands. You're washing both hands at that point, where you're getting interaction from people that love playing games, watching Netflix, which really goes hand in hand anyway, right? Because I think like the user engagement on Netflix was most on PS4 at a time, something like that. But it kind of goes hand in hand with each other, So what you discover on Netflix, you can also play on PlayStation. What you discover on PlayStation could also be seen on Netflix.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback that honestly, and with what you said. So that the fact that they're dipping their toes into different things, this might very much give them the brainstorming of how, although maybe they haven't said anything, but what their competition to Game Pass will be. I mean, maybe this is just setting it up. I can't tell for sure, honestly, but more partnerships, yeah, sure. So if there's something Sony has or PlayStation have showed is that they really like going solo and like just focusing on they like to go big or go home. But it's nice to see them like try different things so far.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it. I'm honestly not even sure if it really makes sense for them to do. Like, I see Macho's point, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, financially, how would that look for them, right? Because it's like, at the same time, you're kind of piggybacking off of like someone else's service. It would sort of be like, what they're doing with like Steam and adding their games, through there. Like, obviously, yeah, they're getting a cut of that, but like, obviously, like another percentage of that goes to the actual platform holder or whatever. But I feel like it would just be more beneficial or financially beneficial for them if it was coming 100% out of their own service or storefront or whatever it may be. Obviously, it would be a lot easier if they were just to be like, yeah, to partner up with Netflix. You already have access to like so many people, right? It's kind of the same thing with creating another Vita or whatever, as opposed to just putting games on the Google Play or the Apple App Store. That would be way more easier as opposed to creating the Vita 2. And just like this, it would be a lot easier just to put your stuff into Netflix than sort of doing actual real, work on PS Now or whatever. But at the same time, I feel like you would reap the benefits way more on, kind of bolstering PS Now versus Netflix. Or it could be wrong because, again, you have way more access. Like, the amount of people who would be able to access your games through Netflix would probably far exceed what you could ever do on PS Now. So that would definitely be a plus. But yeah, I don't know. I can see the benefits and disadvantages to this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what comes of it. I'm excited to kind of see what they have brewing in the pipeline because obviously we all know like the game studios that they're partnering with and kind of like what kind of other partnerships can we see from them that would just benefit the console itself and kind of like the experience. But yeah, I feel like it ties in pretty well. We'll see how it goes though, because for all we know, it could be just failed dealings. The deals could be here today and gone tomorrow. So
yeah, and at the same time, this probably this might not even be true, right? Like those images that were found could have just been placeholders or whatever. So this could just be all smoke and no fire. So there's that angle as well. But yeah, man, interesting to think about nonetheless. All right. I'm kind of running out of things to talk about. Macho, was there something else that we needed to touch on? Something about like Jim Ryan had an interview or something, right?
I'll be very honest with you. I didn't read it.
Okay. To be honest, like if Nebel or Shinobi or Z Huge doesn't tweet out something, then I honestly don't care. Like if they didn't tweet out a quote from this interview, then I know that nothing really important happened in there. So they didn't talk about this interview, so I'm like, okay, out of sight, out of mind. Nothing really big happened then. So we can
There you
move
go.
on.
Yeah, it was just more headline readers kind of going with like Jim Ryan thinks that PlayStation gamers or just gamers in general only remember the bigger games, or the case may be, or some along those lines.
I
But
saw I
of
saw
course,
that
everybody's
quote.
gonna take it out
I
of
saw that
context.
quote floating around, but like and I'm not interested in reading the whole article, but like I feel like I would need more context because I would need more context in order to know if I need to be outraged or not. Because I saw a lot of people complaining about that, so I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't really get the kind of uproar, but you know how it is online.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that was that topic. Um, so well, honestly, I don't know if there's anything else to really talk about.
I got you. Come on, the
Okay.
five-face fanatic is
Actually,
here.
we do have one more thing that we can touch on really quickly. So did you
Alright.
guys did you guys see Kojima talking about the sort of director's cut, and how he doesn't like that term? And it's funny because I was thinking about this too, and I was like, and then he started tweeting about it, and I was like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense because like when you think about the word director's cut, like that honest, like the word cut, right? That's sort of like synonymous, or at least it brings about an image of like you're taking something away. But with these new re-releases, no, it's you're adding more content to what was already there. So like it is weird, like when you put director's cut, it kind of, I don't know. It kind of feels like that name is sort of like bringing about an image that you're taking something away rather than adding something. So like, yeah, should you call it a director's plus rather than a director's cut? Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. How do you guys?
It's, we were, it's funny. We were just talking about that in the last episode too. Where we're like, wasn't it kind of weird how these things are named?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then Kojima literally
Yeah.
says this thing like a day or two later.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I mentioned last podcast how I wouldn't mind seeing more of this approach, like what these director's cuts are about. But the name itself, I did mention how odd it is, because if I hear director's cut, like I mentioned last podcast, I'm expecting like the director like commentating, oh, this section, we actually worked with these people to actually bring this section to life. Like I don't know, like I imagine commentary during certain parts that you can activate, kind of like the filter with black and white that you can activate and goes to Tsushima. I don't know. It's an odd. It's very. It's. Is this the first time like that we're getting like a game that like the like an enhanced version is like called Director's Cut? Is this the first time?
Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, if there have been other versions of it, I don't know if maybe the approach was the same. I don't know what's the reasoning behind it. If it's just maybe like pure, maybe they found out that by you naming something Director's Cut is you'll get more purchases on it or more pre-orders on it. I don't know. It's weird terminology. I get deluxe edition, I get collector's edition, I get like Game of the Year edition, but like Director's Cut, I don't know, but
At the same
is there
time,
something you didn't give us?
I don't like the whole like definitive edition that has been so like
Right.
like common
Like a
nowadays.
complete.
Because
Yeah,
it's almost like this is the version that you should have bought, and it's just I'm not a
I
big
get it
fan.
when I get when it's like a version like a Witcher situation where it wasn't definitive, but it was Game of the Year edition and included both DLCs and like all the 16 free DLCs they gave out the first year. I get it when it's that, when it's like this is like what it is now, so here's the full packet. Um, or like when when it's like a Destiny situation where you pay like hundreds of dollars for expansions and then you can just buy the $40 version that includes everything. That's when I feel like, okay, buddy. So what? What are you trying to tell me that I wasted money? Um, I guess it's more of that.
Yes. You absolutely understand.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But I don't know, man. It's hit or miss for me. You have to justify calling it a like whatever edition. If it's like the ultimate, like absolute edition, burrito, super deluxe extra. I don't know.
That sounds good, actually.
Right? I would go for a burrito now. But like I don't know, man. It depends. It depends on what are the justifications for it. And honestly, I hope it doesn't become a trend. Like I thought about it after the last podcast, and I hope it doesn't because it is an odd normalization of a term to use for like a definitive quote unquote edition. I don't know, man. I don't know what'll come from it. If I guess Kojima wasn't a fan of it, but he still got it for Death Stranding. I guess he didn't have a word for that or like a say in that. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see
know
what
that's kind of
comes.
weird that like he was like the head of this game and like he didn't really have a say, or if he did or did not. From what his tweet saying,
It seems
from
like
his tweet saying like he did,
yeah.
which is weird.
Either he's trying to like either he thought about it and now he's regretting it, or like he didn't have a say,
Hey,
or
that's a publisher decision.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, if he didn't have a say, then well, hell, now we know his opinion. Will other developers be like, we ain't gonna allow that? Psych. Here's the director's edition. I don't know.
Yeah,
Director's
I
cut.
don't know. It's weird, but I kind of hope that they kind of break this trend of director's cuts. I really don't like. Not the more I think
Final
about it, the more
Fantasy VII
don't
remake
like.
director's cut.
No, that's not
When
do
all the
that.
parts are out, when all the Final Fantasy VII remake parts are out, the final version will be director's cut.
I'd rather have the Kingdom Hearts surnames than having director's cut attached to these. To be really honest.
Remind.
Yeah, I'd rather have all of those in director's cut.
Oh man.
Or even remake, intergrade, remake intermission, all that stuff.
Remix 2.5.
Yeah, because just like, damn, director's cut just is a weird name, man. It really does like it for me, like, because I like my movies, so when I hear director's cut, I think if they took this stuff away and then saved it for a later release, so that they could have like the true vision, and have that attached to Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding, it's really odd. It's when it's really not. It's not taking away anything. It's just really more adding to it, which is like
This year feels like video games and movies. There's this odd like synergy that's going on. Like video games dipping into movies, movies dipping into video games. Like this year is just all over. Like even with terminology, there's so much going on in that aspect. Last of Us series. You have the movies, the Uncharted movies. You have the video games, the Indiana Jones video game, another Star Wars video game. There's so many things going on with like video games and movies this year. It's interesting. And now director's cut, which is very much a term that I expect from a movie. Like I expect Avengers Endgame director's cut, but like, which I assume will be just a slightly longer movie. Which God, don't give me that. It's already long enough. But like with games, yeah. Death Stranding, if he had it in store before and just didn't release it, I don't know, but hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird. It's odd. It's just odd. I'm not mad. Like I'm not like,
It's so big.
but like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Just like the name just sounds boring as well, right? Like I don't know.
yeah, it is.
You're not amused?
Like if you were to name it based off of like I don't know, like something within the actual game itself, like I don't know, Death Stranding, like
Baby edition.
BB's Revenge or some shit like that.
BB's Revenge.
Yeah, yeah.
BB's Revenge?
Yeah, something like that, or something.
Oh my god.
Or something that like teases like, because there's new story content in this, right? So like something that teases the new story content, or with Ghost of Tsushima, right? It's the Iki expansion is in the director's cut. So what if it was called like Ghost of Tsushima, like just Iki Island or something with like Iki in it, right?
Vicky Vicky?
Yeah, like almost giving it like a subtitle or something like along the lines of like a Uncharted: The Lost Legacy or Infamous First Light. If you did something like that, that would be more interesting than just calling everything like slapping director's cut onto it. Um,
I agree. Yeah.
but
Slap director's cut. See this brand new game here?
yeah, man. But
Damn.
it's whatever. I guess I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
It's
get
boring.
my.
No, it sucks because it's it. You're right. It is boring. It's just like I don't know. Persona 5 Royal. Oh, you're like whoa. It's just like, am I fancy for buying this? You know, like you're like whoa.
Atlas gonna take another $60 from you.
Here you go, baby. Give me those 2 extra characters and new ending. Like, Persona 4 Golden. Whoa, you're like, wait a minute. Atlas up here, like, being fancy. Persona 3 Fest. Persona 3 Portable. Like, you're like, wait, there's all these... Not director's cut, G. You want
I know, yeah, it is boring. Like I said, I hope it dies. I hope if there's another Last of Us,
Bloodborne, director's cut.
If there's like a Last of Us 2 director's cut, I hope that's the final one.
That's the last one. Yeah.
Because I don't want Bloodborne director's cut. I want Bloodborne, baby fetus edition or something crazy like like or I don't know Yarnum's Messenger something not director's cut.
That's redundant. Baby fetus. Like,
hey man, it's Bloodborne. Everything's not the same.
BB, Bloodborne BB. Also, Death Stranding BB edition is that it just brings a copy of Bloodborne.
Exactly. There you go. Or as Jay said, BB's Revenge.
Yeah, that's a better one.
Revenge.
That's the one they should go with.
Bro.
So last thing that we should touch on is this Nickelodeon. God, I don't even know what is it called. You guys know?
All-Star Brawl or something like that.
I have no clue. But the Super Smash Bros. Nickelodeon fighting game. It's funny, man. It's funny because, like, obviously, like I recognize like a lot of those characters, but then at the same time, they showed off like 2 or 3 characters. I was like, I don't know any of these guys.
Who?
Yeah.
Jay, how old are you?
No. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's like probably like the newer Nickelodeon characters that like they probably introduced in like at the time that I stopped watching Nickelodeon. So there was like one character.
When did you stop watching Nickelodeon?
I don't know, but like God, once MTV was like really popping, then I left Nickelodeon.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Like a decade ago.
probably like I don't know, like 2010.
Did you miss out on Danny Phantom?
No. Okay, let me pause this game. Let me look at that.
Pause.
Let me.
I'm about to say because we used to, I don't know any. I'm like Nigel Thornberry.
No.
Danny
Okay, so
Phantom,
obviously I know those characters, but
Okay, good.
Stall. I need to look up that cast. Oh, okay. Never mind. I think I got them right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Bring it.
So Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Okay, we have oh God, what's her? Okay, so Oblina from Real Monsters. Okay, I don't know who the hell that is.
Who?
That's a classic. That's a classic Nickelodeon one.
Okay,
So you're just showing right
all
now.
right. Already off to a bad start. All right, hold on.
These youngins,
All right. So obviously I know Danny Phantom. Obviously I know Helga. Obviously I know Zim and Reptar and SpongeBob and Patrick and Sandy. Leo from TMNT. Michelangelo. I don't know what the Loud House is. Obviously I know Powder Toast Man from Ren and Stimpy and Nigel Thornberry.
Loud House I know.
Okay, so Lucy Loud and Lincoln
it's
Loud.
fairly recent.
Okay, that's what I
fairly
was
recent.
saying. Those 2 characters look like some shit from like 2018 Nickelodeon that I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like orange clothing or something.
And one of them was
that
black hair or something like that. But that's what I was trying to say is that like this is definitely going to be a mix of like the current Nickelodeon and the old Nickelodeon, and I could give a fuck less about the current Nickelodeon. so that's what I was trying to say. But hey, you give me Korra from Legend of Korra, and I'm good. I'm good, man.
Hey,
that's
give
all
me
I
that
need.
Aang, boy.
That's all I need.
Give me
You give
all
me
the
Azula
goodies.
as well. That's all I need, man.
Hey,
that's all I need.
That's what I'm
what's
saying
up.
too. Yeah, I think someone pointed out like in like the shadow character or like a the shape like Korra's like
Yeah.
character figure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm hoping for too, man. I would
Yes,
love to get Korra in a
sir.
'Cause it
game
makes
because
it
she
makes
only has
sense.
one game, only one game,
Yeah, because it makes
one
you
game.
can't have a Nickelodeon fighting game without the Queen, right? Like, come on, man.
Exactly, exactly.
I'm
Thank you.
so happy.
Fine, someone agrees.
I'm so happy to hear that. I always the last
Yeah.
time I like spoke with someone passionate about Korra, like they shit on Korra
Yeah,
and
she
they
gets
don't understand her.
she gets needlessly
And
shit on, man.
she's
Exactly,
amazing.
yeah,
She
exactly.
is no cap, has better development than so many characters from even the Last Airbender. And I'm not shitting on the Last Airbender. It's just the fact that Korra is so amazing. And
Hey, man,
listen,
I love
At least we
Aang.
all can agree on that.
I love Aang, but come on, he did not have to go through, a fucking Kuvira, the Red Lotus, Unalaq, and Amon.
bruh,
Like he
Korra,
nowhere near.
Korra
Epic.
went against a
Freaking epic.
bloodbender. Korra went against a god of evil. Korra went against probably the most the evilest like organization, which was the Red Lotus, and she went against a literal dictator that controlled an element that she very much did not like master, and was the first avatar to master, which is metal bending. Like she went against so much, and all through personal growth, bro. I mean, granted, we're not gonna just not acknowledge that Aang literally mastered all four elements in like a few months, but which is a feat in of its own. But Korra, man, Korra gets needlessly shit on, and it is mind-boggling. And I'm so happy.
It infuriates me when it happens.
It's
Like I had to
infuriating.
I had to defend the queen. I had to defend her.
Hell yeah! And there's even a tabletop RPG that's gonna come out, and it's gonna be about Avatar, and it's gonna feature both the world of Last Airbender and Korra. It'll be like a D&D-esque kind of thing. It's gonna be amazing. Like, and Avatar Studios that formed recently, bro. I want more Korra and Aang. Give me all of it. But yeah, like if you listening and you don't like Korra, bruh,
Hey, watch it.
What is
Watch it.
that?
Okay.
what is that? What is that?
But yeah, so
Yeah, they need to put her in this game. It's gonna be. It needs to happen.
definitely.
Yes, sir.
So what sort of like besides Korra, and I guess Azula would be my pick, but like who's like your dream sort of character that you would want in this game?
Drake and Josh.
Nah, the bad timing, man. Bad timing.
Oh no! Oh no!
Damn. Damn.
Yeah, I forgot what one. So just Josh.
Just Josh
Jeez.
with his newborn kid.
What about you, Macho?
God, see, when I was talking to my fiance about it last night, because we're both Nickelodeon fans, mind you, I was brain dead last night. I was talking to her before I was going to bed. I was like, they need to put Tommy Pickles into this game, and she was like, you know that he's an infant, right?
Who? Tommy Pickles, man. Wait, which version? The infant or the all grown up version?
The
Which
grown
one?
ups, the all grown up.
The infant.
Oh man. Come on, man.
I was like, you need to put Tommy Pickles into this game. He would rock everybody's shit with his bottle and his blanket and his juicy
man.
juice. He will go in. But then I remembered that you can't exactly put infants in a fighting game.
Yeah, very true. Very
I
true.
mean,
Except if you're Nintendo, because they have NES. Yeah. I mean, but if I were to do like a serious take, I'm trying to dig deep into the crevices
I'm
of
also
Nickelodeon.
I'm thinking real hard.
No, that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
because like I'm like now that I think about it, like I'm way more like I know like live action Nickelodeon like the back of my hand, man. But like
Yeah.
when I'm thinking about like the cartoons, like I'm way more invested.
101.
I'm way more invested. Yeah, like Zoe 101, all that, Keenan and Kel. Like I know all that way more than like the actual cartoons that they had. But now if you ask me Cartoon Network, man, I could rattle off like everyone that I would want in a Cartoon Network fighting game, man. That would excite me way more than a Nickelodeon one, to be honest.
See, I would, I'm like the opposite. When it comes to like Disney characters or even like, even Nickelodeon, I could definitely list them up. But like the thing is, I was thinking of too many characters, to like what I would like in this game. But I'm looking at like a character graph now, and there's so many I would love to see in this game. But the number one would be the Rocket Power Kids.
Yeah, that would be good.
Ooh, yeah,
I would love to see them. They had some lit Game Boy games back in the day.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember playing
I'm thinking.
some of the games.
Oh, I'm also looking at Graph. I don't know if she was in the trailer, but the robot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
I know
teenage
you're
robot.
talking about. Yeah. I know you're talking about. I forgot her name, but I know exactly you're talking about the blue robot.
Man,
She was cool.
we gonna give that show respect.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
good, man. It was
Yeah.
good. It was a good limited series.
It was
they
a
already
nice
have
little show.
They already have Invader Zim in there, which is like really would have been like my
True.
top pick. But the
Yeah.
other
They have-
one that I'm like, looking at,
Yeah.
Chalk Zone.
Yo, that was a bob. Like
was.
the theme just came to mind. That was a bob. Yeah.
Yeah, put Chalk Zone in there. That would be cool. He'd have like he'd be such a cool character, man.
Cat Dog. Is Cat Dog already there?
No, but that'll be another
That'd be
interesting
fun.
character actually.
That'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Manny Rivera. I remember seeing Manny Rivera, the Tigre Adventures or whatever it was, which is like this. What was it? Like Tiger Mexican hero or whatever.
Oh, El Tigre, that one.
El Tigre. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you know
Obviously,
what?
Fair Odd Parents too. Yeah.
And you know
Oh,
what?
for sure.
Fuck it, man. Just add George Lopez in there as well, man. Might as well.
I'm down for that.
Get the rights, and go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they.
I know her.
Yeah. It's a good show.
Oh, definitely.
Man.
Yeah.
Jimmy Neutron?
Oh shit! Yeah,
But
Jimmy
yeah,
Neutron.
but yeah, like
That feels like a go-to.
God, that show looks ugly, man. It's so ugly
That
now.
looks disgusting. Yeah,
It's
it
so
looks
gross.
disgusting.
It's so gross.
Oh, you don't like Mrs. Fowl?
Oh
Bruh.
man, nah, I'm good. I'm alright.
Would you like that was the meme? Would you like to try? Can I try that croissant or whatever it is? It's so dumb.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if they were to put a Hey Arnold character, who would they put in?
Arnold.
Arnold?
Helga. You mentioned Helga earlier.
Oh yeah,
right?
Helga is part of it.
Yeah.
Helga is.
Oh
that
man,
makes sense.
so her weapon's gonna be that big ball of gum, the Hey Arnold statue that she made.
It's disgusting.
Rolling football head.
That'll be her taunt.
Oh, dude, that would be actually pretty lit. Ultimate she has. Oh my god, this is gonna be amazing.
Wait, these dudes will get. Oh, the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob.
Yeah, that's a stage. That's a stage actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Fun. Mrs. Puff.
God damn. But yeah, man, I would love a Cartoon Network one. That would be fucking
Oh
lit, man.
yeah. Oh, that'd be lit. That would that one like in my head like, oh bro, do you think they could be able to like Adult Swim characters?
Maybe, man.
Put it.
But
Some
also,
robot
Man,
chicken in there.
just go with the class like the early 2000s Cartoon Network. The Conan Kid Next Door, Billy
Billy
Mandy,
Mandy, yeah.
Courage.
Foster's Home, yeah, Courage.
Courage Foster's Home. Class of 3000. That was such a good show that just ended.
I don't think I
was
ever
such a
watched that
funky
one
show.
actually.
It was a nice little show. What's the no? That's Nickelodeon. I thought of the teacher from Timmy Turner. What's his name? The one that's obsessed with like fairies.
Oh, you need you need fucking Doug Dimmadome in the Nickelodeon one.
Oh where's the Crimson Chin?
Oh yeah.
Bro.
And then Nega Chin.
Oh yeah. Hey man, they had to hey man, they had to be careful with that name, man.
Yeah.
Macho said it. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, looking back on it now, man, they were wild to pick that name. That was crazy back then. And I just said it with reckless abandon when I was like 10 years old, man. Around my house, man. That shit was crazy. They really did not think that one through.
I love it how Macho says it, and in his voice, you notice like,
yeah, the hesitation.
It was, yeah, no, there was. I was like, let me make sure I'm saying this right.
Nah.
Not what I'm seeing on Twitter. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
One too many memes of that one.
Oh man, put in Chowder in there for Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah,
Put
yeah.
in fucking
Oh,
man.
my gosh.
The Misadventures of Flapjack. Put in Flapjack in there.
I need Crimson Chin in there though. I need that.
Yeah, and his opponent.
Yeah. He'll be like Pirate Mytha in Super Smash Brothers, where you press a button, you press a button, you're Nega Chin, and then you press another button, you're Crimson Chin.
Oh yeah.
That would be cool, man.
Yeah.
I am crying.
Yeah, man, that would definitely be cool, man. And you know, I would love to see Sony take another crack at a battle royale or Super Smash. Nah, man, for real.
Yeah.
I want them to
I
try it
played
again.
that game and I wouldn't do it again. I plan a game. Do it again.
Obviously not the same developer, right? And at the same time, you also have to change the name because that name is tainted now. There's a level of shit that's accompanied with that name. So you gotta wipe the slate clean. You gotta wipe it clean, man. So you gotta choose.
What's the name?
I don't even want to say it, but you gotta pick a different name, a cooler name too, man. Because all these fighting games always go with the generic all stars in there, so you gotta choose something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see them because like we talked about in the past, man, they definitely have the characters to like. Fuck, man, we don't need the Big Daddy from BioShock and Fat Princess. Like we could actually have like legit like PlayStation characters in this now, man. Like, I felt like last time they were grasping at straws, right? Like they obviously picked like the obvious ones, but like they chose like some ones that like we were kind of like, okay, man, you didn't need to go with that one, right?
Yeah, Dante from DMC, like the reboot was a questionable choice.
Yeah.
Bruh.
So now like come
That
on,
was
like
very
let's get Cloud and let's get Snake, man. You know, you can get Celine from Eternal, get Ratchet, Slide, Jack.
The thing with having like people like Cloud or like even Joker, it's like will they be as good as playing them on Smash? Because like if they're gonna have like their own fighting game, they have to go all out on like either like a completely different fighting system, maybe an All Stars, maybe a 1v1, maybe just a what do you call it? A damn like arena, like 3D arena. I don't know what they would do. Don't do a Jump Force. God, no. No. Please. That's one thing that I always mention in my mind. Like, I would love like an all-star anime fighting game. Nope. And I think of Jump Force. I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't try. Because ass.
But I mean, that's the thing. You need a legit developer to actually like make this thing for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like,
that's gonna be super hard, just in the fact that Microsoft's having trouble finding a developer for Killer Instinct.
Yeah, nobody wants to make that.
But stop, Jay. Stop.
Macho,
Right?
Macho.
Killer Instinct is lit, bro.
what Macho?
God.
What game? What game, Macho?
Killer Instinct. That game is lit.
But you need an Arc Systems. You need Arc System Works
you
to do a PlayStation
bugging.
style Smash Bros. You need them to do it. Can you imagine like Aloy and like Ellie or Nathan Drake,
Aloy versus Celine?
Kratos in that Arc Systems art style?
And
Come on, man.
The Hunter from Bloodborne.
In that art style?
And-
Come on,
and-
man. Stop playing with me.
Sekiro. You're gonna have.
Nah.
You're gonna have you're gonna have Nathan Drake face off the Hunter from Bloodborne. You're gonna have fucking Parappa the Rappa versus Who else? I'm
I
coming
don't know.
off short of.
That just doesn't excite me as much as like Nickelodeon or Cartoon
No, no,
Network
bro. I
characters.
don't think
Oh,
anything
hell
excites
no.
me as like if I'm imagining a cartoon fighting that sounds lit. But like for PlayStation, it's just there's I don't know. It's such a whack for me for Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Nintendo. Like all this works because it's such a wacky approach because they have such like wacky like fun
No,
games.
no,
But with
listen.
PlayStation, it's such a more
Listen to
What?
this.
What?
Listen to this. This is what's gonna get Macho back on board for a PlayStation fighting game.
All right.
What if Tifa's added to the roster?
Where's the pre-order link?
See, there you go. There
This
you
man
go.
plotting.
There you go.
This man plotting.
There you go.
Dude, Tifa
Yeah.
in any fighting game is a blessing.
Yeah, it makes
Instant
sense
pre-order.
too.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Dude, yeah, it's her and Dissidia Duodecim was like it was amazing. Are you kidding me?
Bro, putting.
She plays like a fighting character in 7 Remake, so like her being in another fighting game, yeah.
Oh, that would
I'll
make
be down for
completely.
that. Yeah.
Like, I mean, even Aerith, because you have like non-combat focused characters in Smash, and they work. Like you have Palutena, you have all these like magic casters, or you have Robin. You can very much fit in Aerith as well. Hell, like put Yuna in, and like her moves are like
she's in Duodecim, and she's
Yeah.
low key broken in that game because of all her stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and imagine a Joker situation where with that certain attacks, instead of Arsene as like the Eons, and like I don't know, like you see Ifrit like do an attack as she does a certain like fire attack or whatever, or like Robin where you switch different types of fighting. You know what? With fighting, there are certain characters that like it makes sense to put in a fighting like Smash type game. But some of them, I just have a hard time like coming up with like, well, that's what they're there for to like come up with the moveset. But envisioning them in a fighting game, it's bizarre. Like
Oh, yeah.
seeing,
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, well, they've already done like Nathan Drake before, but like, yeah, someone like a
Yeah.
Deacon St. John, like I would be hard pressed to
yeah,
imagine yeah.
put an Abby there. Like, how would that work?
Oh, I mean,
Like,
the hammer,
oh,
the
yeah.
hammer, the hammer or the golf club. That's it. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're right.
would-
You're
oh my
right.
God.
High
That's
five.
an easy. That's an easy one. And she's also got the crossbow from in the later stages of her gameplay. She's fine. She's
like-
actually got some like unique weapons.
Abby would be broken. Abby would be broken in that game. She
Yeah.
would just like canonly like kill everyone.
Yeah, she's fine.
Um,
But yeah, someone
Ellie-
like Deacon or Nathan Drake. Yeah, I'm not.
or
I'm not
Chloe
too sure.
Frazier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to see Nathan Drake's weird jump animation for 1,000 times on the stage.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Maybe it doesn't have to be like exactly Smash. Maybe it can be like a more grounded like fighting game. But how would that work? Not a 1v1, but like a a free for all, but less wacky. Would that work, or does it have to be like very gamey, video gamey? Because Celine, I do see her like with her thrusters, going from platform to platform. But I don't know. It'd be very odd to see Celine fight Tifa and like how different. Like I don't know. I guess Smash does it well. You have
Tifa
fucking
whooped that
pick it.
ass also.
God, the frame rate.
Yeah, you're right.
The frame rate suffers at this part.
I mean, it just did for a little bit. Like it fucking dropped down to like
yeah.
15 frames, man. But we're good.
Are you playing on quality mode or performance?
Performance.
Wow, that's surprising.
No.
Man, the game look good.
But yeah, man, I would like I said, man, I would love to see that in the future.
If they do it well, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
I'm
they
all
can
for
find it. If they can find it.
We can find that little middle ground, that little PlayStation fighting ground, and yeah, sure. But
Same, man.
We'll
Yeah.
see how
all
that
down-
goes though, actually, because they do have a big ties with Evo and the fighting game scene, so you never know.
I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They've been hosting tournaments like all week.
what if they're like just remastering All Stars?
God. I'm saying,
All Star Director's Cut.
and I think I told you guys that what's his name, Z Huge. He did kind of tease that there might be when they purchased Evo, that he was like making a thread about why this makes sense for Sony, and then somewhere along that thread he was like, Although Sony doesn't have their own first party fighting game, and he put like in parentheses yet. So if maybe they have something in the works. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't know.
Who can say?
If they do, make sure it's good.
And if they don't buy Killer Instinct, then just make that, because Killer Instinct's the best.
That ain't happening.
I know. Microsoft has it, but still, let me Killer Instinct.
But all right, man. That is the end of the podcast. Guys, I want to thank you guys for coming through, checking out the podcast. Once again, I want to ask, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate that. We really do. We see the support on some of the videos that we've released recently, and we love to see it, man. We love to see it. We appreciate that. So yeah, let's get out of here. Macho, got anything going on this week?
Nothing more specific. Just really gonna be chilling and resting. Maybe playing some Demon Souls, a little bit of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy 14, which by the way actually sold out of digital copies. What other game have you done that?
Walt, what about you, man? You got anything going on this week?
So yeah, but other than that, just chilling, man. Just rocking it out. Just trying to stay cool. The weather's hot, so. But I'm be on my gaming time right now. It's nice rest and relaxation. And then I think that's it, man. I think that's it. Yeah. Again, and also I just want to say thank you guys again for the support. Kind of echoing Soul here. We're close to what 40 subscribers now. Yeah, we're at 38. Thank you. Well, like I think the milestone before like the end of the year is to at least reach 50 subs, and with your guys' help, it's making that possible. So much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Walt? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I'll also take a moment and truly show my appreciation to everyone that supported us, and thank you for anyone that sticks around and listens to us. You know, occasionally get serious, occasionally get a bit weird. Appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support. Remember, like and subscribe, or the kneecaps are coming off. Woo. But
Your
aside from that, man,
That too.
Man, hopefully I'll get to play more Returnal today. Still got more stuff to do for school. I have a test due tomorrow, so I'll be studying for that later today, and just more papers and more senior year stuff. Almost there, almost done with this undergrad. I'm just one more year, and I'm finally I want to get it over with. And I just want to express my condolences and you know, for Level 1 Gaming. Fortunately, had a writer pass away yesterday, I believe. Trevor. He was part of the Cogs and the Wheel podcast with
Cogs in the Machine.
Cogs in the Machine with the Floor Hugger. And just want to say that it's all about healing from here on, and hope the family gets better from here on out. And nothing's harder than loss. I just hope that this is just a moment for personal growth for whoever knew him, and to reflect on his life and never forget him. But aside from that, just more games and more school. And hopefully, if I finish, check out @WaltLandful on Twitter, you know, because low one.
Yes, sir. For me, God, I don't. Besides dreams, yes, sir. We're gonna get into that this weekend. Yes, sir. Getting into that dreams, gonna make a game. You know, gonna win a lot of awards.
I'm excited to hear how fast you pick up the controller and how fast you put it down.
What is that?
we're gonna hey man, by the end of the year, man, I'm gonna be at the Game Awards up on the stage presenting my dreams creation. Gonna have a ton of awards, man. Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great,
Hire
man.
by meet him out of cool.
Yeah, man.
I see
No,
it,
it's
I see
funny.
it.
It's funny because I think yesterday, and I think that this is probably what prompted me getting the game. But they actually have a position that's like a dreams expert at the company or something like that. And it's basically this position of like you brokering deals with various other like parties and whatnot, and like actually explaining and walking them through what dreams is. Like that's an actual like legit position at the company. And yeah, that seems like really really interesting. But I've been meaning to get to this game for a while now. um there was a point where it was like $30 too, and I was about to jump in at that point. um but I don't know, for whatever reason I waited. But hey, finally got it. Better late than never.
Oh yeah, man.
True.
So yeah, man, I'm ready. Oh, can't wait. So excited, man. And then besides that, probably RE2 a little bit more of that. Like I said, I got to meet the lovely Ada Wong. So gonna be
Queen.
excited. Yeah, excited to see what happens after that. It feels like, man, like so I got down to like some like boiler room thing, and then like fought against like some weird guy in a lab coat who like turned into like some half zombie thing where his arm was like really big, and we just like ran around in circles. And like, man, like like, so like, okay, like, yes, like Nemesis is terrifying, Mr. X is terrifying, some of these boss fights are terrifying, man. But like, can we talk about like how semi ridiculous it is like running away from these things are? Because like I feel like they should be on, like they should catch me, but they're just like a little like two steps on my ass. They're like just like right there, man. Like I feel like my characters are never running fast enough, but like they still can't catch me. You know what I mean? Like it just always like trips me out, especially with like that Nemesis fight when it was like on top of like the burning like roof or whatever. And I'm just like, Nemesis, like I'm not even like sprinting. Like how haven't you like not caught me by now, man? Like what's going on? It's just, I don't know. It's just so fun
Take
to
this
me.
time,
Welcome to
man.
Resident Evil 5. The exact same happened in Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
let him take
what,
his
guys, what
time.
do you do when you're plagued? I'm like, no, what's going on? I'm losing health. I don't know how to get rid of it.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's I don't know, it's interesting to say the least. But I don't know how I even killed that boss fight, or that boss, cause it. Do you guys remember the one I'm talking about? It was like in like the some boiler room, and then it's like steam is
Yeah,
like
I
coming out of
remember.
the pipes, and like
Yeah.
I literally ran out of like everything. Like I had like 4 shotgun bullets, and I ran out of my handgun ammo. And like I literally at the last second I found like a grenade, and I managed to kill it with that. But yeah, that was just one of those instances where I was just like, man, dude, like like I was like rubbing up like right against him, and like he would
Whoa,
like swing.
pause.
Come on, man,
Pause.
come on. I would be like brushing shoulders against him, and he would swing and completely like whiff and miss me, and I was just like, all right, man, like I don't even need to worry at this point. But
Yeah, that's kind of just the charm of the Resident Evil at that time, man. It really is.
yeah. Hey man, if
Dude,
Lady Dimitrescu is just like that too, man, then hey man, we might have some. I might want to get caught by her. I might need to help her out a little bit.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Ooga.
Yeah, man. But all right, man. That's gonna do it for the podcast. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week. Same time, Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Be there or risk having your kneecaps taken. Peace out.
Yes, sir.
Mom's a hoe.